Yo, what is dopamine for dummies? So the past couple days, I've been watching Andrew Huberman podcasts about dopamine, and to simplify it enough, I'm gonna give you some examples. Something I wrote down in my journal is, you know how drug addicts, they get addicted to drugs, and I'll see if I could find a chart or draw a chart. There's a baseline that everybody has. Everyone has this one baseline, and at that baseline is probably when you were a kid, when you were completely pure. Like, you didn't use TikTok. You were just happy. You were happy to be alive. You weren't really depressed when you were younger, were you? So, when you take a drug, the reason people get addicted to drugs is because you get a spike in dopamine. So the chart could be like this, and I know where, boom. And what happens after that is it crashes, drastically crashes, and it goes underneath that baseline. And what that means, that is your new baseline, right? So if you were happy before, now your baseline's a little less happy. Now again, because of its addictive nature, you want another spike. You want to get back to your high. You want to get back to your regular baseline. So what you do is you take it again, but this time it's not as high, and you go lower this time. And what is it? Now your baseline is even lower. Now you're sad. You're not happy anymore. You're sad. And to get back to baseline, you're gonna go back. Oh. And that's literally what happens. That's how drug addicts get so addicted. They like the feeling, and they say, well, they don't mentally think about this chart. But if you start mentally thinking about this chart, it'll change your perspective. And this doesn't only occur with drugs, right? We have drugs all around us, bro. And it doesn't have to be methamphetamine, doesn't have to be weed. Junk food can be seen as a drug. What does junk food do to us? There's no benefits, bro. There's literally no benefits to eating sweets or junk food. Sugar doesn't really do much for you. Junk food is just horrible for you. It makes you feel bad. It makes you feel tired, lethargic. But look, you eat junk food, you feel great, bro. You were so hungry, you ate the junk food. And then later you feel lethargic. And then a little later in the day, let's say it's lunch, more junk food. And then you keep doing that repeatedly for months, years. Now you've gained weight, but you still love the junk food. Oh, all the way down. Now you're fat. You're like, you really don't like how you look, and you don't know why. Because junk food tastes good. That means it is good for you, right? No, bro. What the heck? Junk food, sweets, same concept. Now I'll explain to you what dopamine is, because I should have said that before. But what dopamine is, it's like this hormone in your body that gets released whenever you experience some sort of pleasure. Now this pleasure, you could imagine learning how to do 90s for the first time in Fortnite. You practiced, you couldn't get that wall, you couldn't get that certain angle, you didn't know how you were supposed to jump at the same time and build, use your fingers, but once you practiced enough, you felt like you could, like, it was so easy, bro. You could do like an infinite amount of 90s. And you felt good. That type of feeling, right? Whenever you eat junk food, you feel like, oh, that's the dopamine that hit it. Like, it feels good. Like, I did something. When in reality, you didn't. Nowadays, dopamine can be acquired so fast in this, like, click of a finger. And most of these easy dopamines, they aren't good for you. Mainly because, look, these people from centuries ago, they didn't have access to beautiful women on the internet. But now, you weirdo, you can search up whatever you want and it's gonna pop up in front of you. You've probably seen more females than they have in their entire freaking life. And those guys were ultra masculine. That's a humongous problem. The amount of dopamine you get from this stuff isn't healthy. Like, it may feel good. It isn't. It isn't good for you, bro. No matter how good it feels to eat junk food, no matter how good it feels to watch this stuff, it isn't good for you, bro. What you need to be like ingesting is, or like not ingesting, the things you need to be doing are delaying this dopamine spike. So let's say you want to build a massive physique, right? And to do that, you have to learn things. Now, learning isn't, it's like specifically, it isn't a fun thing to do. Unless you rewire your brain or something. But if you're down here, this is your baseline, learning is gonna feel like you don't want to do it, bro. And that's the only way up, and to stay up. So you need to start doing these things that cause discomfort, and later if you put it in your head that this is gonna be good for me, doing 10 push-ups a day is gonna build my chest, is gonna make me stronger. If you put that in your head and you continue doing it, that dopamine you're gonna get is healthy dopamine, and it's not gonna bring you down. It's gonna go up and it's gonna stay up there. And I feel like more people need to hear this, bro. The better, like, the worse it feels, the better it's gonna be for you in the long term. You can't expect to go on TikTok, oh, I got information, oh, and then you forget it instantly, bro. Like, that's how, actually, I think that's kind of unrelated, but like, you can't just, like, eating healthy, especially greens, for some people, it's disgusting, bro. It, like, tastes horrible, it looks horrible, and people don't like eating it. But if you start rewiring your head and saying, I'm gonna eat this, because I know in the future I'm gonna feel better, I'm gonna get that dopamine hit, but it's gonna take a while. There's gonna be a process. I'll show you some charts, I guess, here. So, this one right here, this is your regular baseline. This is your baseline. This is a high. After that high, it goes down. This is another high because you went back. And boom, it just slumps. And that's your new baseline. That's how people get depressed and end up doing horrible things that they shouldn't be doing. I wrote this down. You can imagine that if this keeps happening, your life will get severely worse and worse. And your efforts of looking for that bigger high bring you even lower each and every time. Now, you want to know how. Shoot, bro. Dang, this is kind of unorganized. I gotta organize this better. It's gonna be an ongoing cycle, bro. It's obvious you're gonna fail. You're an addict, bro. Whatever you're doing right now, you're an addict. You're an addict to social media. You're an addict to watching porn. You're an addict just sitting down. You're an addict to eating junk food. So this is gonna be an ongoing cycle. I'm not telling you to just completely stop what you're doing because you're just gonna go back and do it. What I want you to do is I want you to just make a conscious effort to just not do those bad habits, right? Try to, like, what I did was I identified, I am not a binge eater. I am not a binge eater. I am not a binge eater. I do not eat junk food. I do not eat junk food. And that placed a thought in my head, whenever I'm about to eat junk food, I know it's gonna make me feel horrible and I just don't eat it. I'd rather eat something healthier and better for me that I know is gonna help me in the long term rather than just eating something that I know I'm gonna feel horrible even though it tastes good. I know I'm gonna feel horrible. I know I'm gonna be feeling horrible. So expect to fail, right? If you're struggling with porn addiction, expect to fail. If you're struggling with binge eating, expect to fail. Just have a conscious effort to just trying to stop that habit. You know those people who always seem happy? That's them either at their regular baseline or they feel fulfilled and they're like up here. Their baseline is up here. Those are the people who don't ingest in this instant dopamine. Those are the people who wait for the second marshmallow, there was an experiment done where one marshmallow was given to a kid and he had to hold on to that marshmallow. And the researcher said, all right, you're gonna wait 15 minutes and we'll give you another marshmallow if you don't eat that first one. A majority of the kids, they ate the first marshmallow because they didn't really they didn't want to wait for the second one. But the kids that waited for the second marshmallow, they were tracked throughout their whole life, and those kids were the ones who had a higher, like, who were happier overall, who had a more success in their careers and their business, whatever they were doing. And you should start thinking like that, bro. Like, if I wait, right, if I do push-ups every single day, I'm not gonna get results instantly. But in the next 6 months to a year, I'm gonna be jacked. Like maybe not even in a year, maybe a little longer, but you'll know you'll be jacked. Where's this last one? Or the last page? Yeah. So what I want you to get from this video is, if you're struggling with any of these habits that, like, you're addicted to these high dopamines, analyze yourself. See, like, and don't tell yourself that there's nothing wrong with me, because there clearly is, bro. Like, you're watching this video because you know you have a problem with dopamine and you want to fix it. All right, so analyze yourself. Don't let your brain tell you nah. Right? Tell yourself, yes, I have a problem. What is it? I binge eat. Okay, I'm gonna make a conscious effort to not binge eat. Right? Even if you do fail, don't let that discourage you. Because, you know, even just consciously trying to stop, that's a dopamine. A delayed dopamine. Alright? Consciously trying to stop is a delayed dopamine. Think like that, bro. Because in the long term, if you continue just trying not to binge eat, that's gonna put you above your baseline. Alright? That's all I want to say. You guys keep improving. Peace.